Admiral's Log, December 18th, 1916. Finally, some good news. We've wrapped up the war with Germany. It's a big relief, but we can't rest easy yet. We've still got Japan and Austria-Hungary to deal with. It's time to focus all our efforts on ending these wars too. The Soviet economy needs a break, and our people need it as well. With Germany out of the picture, we can shift more of our ships and resources to the other two fronts. It's going to be tough, but I'm determined to see this through. We've got a chance now to really push and hopefully get the upper hand. For Japan, we need to keep the pressure on at sea. Our subs and ships have been doing a great job, and we'll need to step it up even more. With Austria-Hungary, it's a bit different. We'll have to be smart about where we hit them and when. I'm getting our plans together, looking at every angle. We've got to make every move count. The crews are ready, and they know what's at stake. It's been a long road, but I can see the end of it now. We're going to give it everything we've got. We're not just fighting for victories here. We're fighting to give our country the peace it needs to recover and rebuild. That's what's driving us. We're going to wrap these wars up and bring our boys home. Time to get to work.
Hey guys, Still here and welcome to episode 21. I very rarely end an episode, or rather begin an episode, with a results screen. But this is important, because Light Cruiser Kuben, after about 17 years of service, is no more. She was sunk in an engagement with Battlecruiser Akagi. Also, and this is potentially far more damaging to the longer strategic impact in the region, is the loss of the General Admiral Apraxin. This battleship, Europa class, has seen a lot of action, did a lot of damage to the Japanese Navy, unfortunately suffered a lucky hit from the Akagi. It was an 11-inch hit, causing the destruction of a main gun, which then exploded into a flash fire, putting the whole damn thing ablaze, and sinking the Apraxin. So, well, that left me with a bunch of transport, so I just clicked Leave Battle, and here we are. The enemy battlecruiser is down, but this is going to cost me some victory points. And moreover, the AI can snap its digital fingers and immediately conjure up a new battlecruiser. I can try and do the same thing. It's just going to cost me about 12 to 15 months. Oh, sorry, battleship, not even a battlecruiser. Not even counting the amount of points or the amount of money that is going to cost me. Thankfully, we did have some survivors from the Apraxin, but good lord, that was that expensive. This does... Did you guys rebrand? Okay. It does put me towards my objective of about 100,000 victory points, so I can end the war with the Japanese. We still have some fights happening with the Japanese. It's going to be a bit of a cruiser slug over here. These guys armed with a couple of 8-inchers and a bunch of other things, but mostly 8-inchers. So let's see if we can get some payback with the original Comrade Cat, which I think by now also deserves her own ship class. I just don't really know what ship class to make it, because we have the battleships covered, we got the battle cruiser covered, we have the heavy cruisers covered with the derp class. I don't think we really need a new ship class at the moment. Maybe eventually it's going to be the name of a destroyer, but I don't think that'll really do it justice. We put everything in one div, it's just for easy management, and let's see exactly where these heavy cruisers are. Surprisingly, they start with a 30-ton. Usually you can get a pretty quick engagement. Fuel check, 97, 97, 97, and a 98. And there's the enemy. So what exactly do you look like? Yeah. Older design, AB, or AX, I suppose? Like one turret bow, one turret stern. I have been detected. I just think that because they're using 8-inchers, and potentially older 8-inchers, they're not in range? The 5.3s? The 8-inchers have less range than the 5s? Now that is interesting. Are you using short barrel 8s? Perhaps. Perhaps it's a short barrel 8-inch gun. And you can see the 5-inchers are opening up, but ideally that should not cause a whole lot of damage to the Comrade Cat, because she's pretty well armored. We're going to focus our fire on this particular target here. It's just a heavy cruiser fight. With one exception, that's the Admiral Grig. That's the 7-inch gun cruiser. Also on their side, they got a light cruiser. This thing likely is packing a couple of torpedo launchers, but only to a range of 4.4. This thing has torps to 6.6. That does place us inside of their torpedo range. Let's go broadside. Give every gun an opportunity to fire at this incoming heavy cruiser. And sink it as quickly as possible. I would very much hope to get to that 100k point, or 100k score. It's mostly an arbitrary number that I cooked up. It's something I'm going for. I'm not sure if that's exactly going to be what we need to take their provinces, but it's what I'm willing to try. Switch fire to the target in the back, so we can hit everything else that happens to be in front. Thankfully, they carry torpedoes, but not in the bows. And every single ship is now starting to flood, with the exception of their light cruiser. At this point, yeah, all ships are using whatever ammo they deem best. I had expected to have sunk at least a heavy. We're just ricocheting off of their bows. Unsurprising with a 3.5-inch belt. Okay. Focus on Miyoko. This light cruiser has absolutely no place being here. Detach. Smoke up. Try and disengage, but I kind of doubt that thing's going to make it through. Come on. Take out Miyoko. Use HE. We're not getting through with AP. We're going to have to switch tactics. And there it is. Now you're burning. Now you're flooding. Now you're quickly losing crew. That is not exactly what I'm going for, but crew loss is always nice to have. So long as it doesn't concern your own ships. No torpedo launches yet. Yoko appears to be on the brink of death due to extensive fire threats. They're targeting the light cruiser with the torpedo launchers. How do you see that going down? Yep, they actually launched against the CL. Okay. She's badly burning, but we're not there yet. Keep up the pressure. Come on. Taking quite a beating here. We've done 10. No, we've done 6.5, but we've taken 10. Oh, the Admiral Grig's gonna go under. She is not gonna be around. Miyoko, however, is more expensive. This is 112 million for a heavy cruiser. This is 26. I can afford to lose a heavy cruiser. Sorry, a light cruiser at that. Whereas, probably, they don't like the loss of a heavy cruiser that much. Can we pen this at all? Not really. That is pretty disturbing. Oh, there we go. Destroyed main tower. Yeah, now you're going under. There's your flooding. Your damage control is toast. So that's one down. Next up, Nico Shirane. Angle-wise, maybe the Comrade Cat has some issues. Destroy the funnel. Okay. What's done most damage on their part? The torpedo. Torpedo hit the light cruiser, so I'm not really counting that. Next to that's the 6-incher. Interesting. This thing is almost completely ablaze. Just needs a little more attention, and she's gone. And then we got the Kaikomo. It's almost full health. Many bulkheads, spacious quarters. Crew loss is not going to work out. Come on. Just a few more fires. Nico Shirane has had her fill. She's going to try and fall back. And all of a sudden, all my ships decide to completely miss the target. Uh-oh. Should be fine. Problem is, she can do that again. Alright, switch to the Kaikomo for a bit. Give her something to worry about. And we'll deal with you in a minute. Comrade Cat, I want you to go to AP. You're going to switch to HE, or stick to HE. Because the Cat has a better angle. Come on, dude. Damn it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to dodge that. I don't think I can. Just throw her into all back emergency, I guess. No. No, I'm just parking right in front of the torp. Yeah, I should have intervened a heck of a lot sooner. There goes Kaikoma. Extensive fire. Okay, deal with the Nikoshirane. I don't particularly care about the CL, but it's a nice snack. I just need to make sure that the Africa survives. I want to win this war. And I do not just want to win this war, I want to win this war with some really, really good rewards. And then I'm going to try and make peace with the Austro-Hungarians. I want to have a couple of years of peace to try and get my economy out of the gutter. Which, it's been suffering for a very, very, very long time. And I hope that I can fix that. Come on, take out the Jinsu. It's got to be very lightly armored. 85% armor quality. She does have torps. Although, landing a torp with all these things in the way could be a tricky encounter. A lot more. Gone. Well done. Well done. That's dead. And that is coming to a stop pretty quick. Alright, 20,000 victory points for that. I'll take that. That is a very nice score. Okay, let's see if the Japanese want to make peace. They have asked me a couple times in the past. I've said no every time, because I thought I could still drag more out of this war. But I'm now going to change tactics. I'm going to try and make the peace with these guys and pull the economy, well, up by its bootstraps, because there's probably not a whole lot left of the economy but the bootstraps. New submarine encounters we can do. Yeah, 2 of mine versus 1 of yours. And 1 of mine versus 3 of yours. And then we still walk away with some victory points. Okay. Japan. Japan. I'd like a peace treaty. Would you? Please reply soonest. It took another 7 bloody months of fighting. But finally, Japan went, okay, fine. We will go to peace. Finally. What can I get? Sumatra. Not bad. I was hoping for something a little bigger, but you just need, you need a lot more. By the time that I had this war done, I was looking at, I think, 160,000 victory points versus 27,000 for them. You need a lot more. It's probably easier to take these things off of their cold, dead hands after an invasion. Anyway, Sumatra is nice to have. I'll take another 380 million in change. And with that, boom. I have a whole lot of money. Because, guess what? I suppose they didn't give me Sumatra. To save some money, I have mothballed basically every single ship in the western/northern area of Russia. So I might have 1 or 2 active ships here, and that's it. I'm not protecting anything. I am, however, accidentally sinking a German merchantman every now and then. Accidents happen, you know. I wasn't trying to piss off the Germans. Not at all. Not at all. The only foe I have left is Austria-Hungary. Victory points wise, they're not doing too hot. They're doing 39. I have 2,000. I can just field the navy that I have over here, which is the Apostle Pyotr, the Petrov, and the Riga. I do believe the Petrov is still getting refit, because I suspended that. I suspended that, and because of that, it's going to take another 7 months. But the Riga, also Petrov class, is getting her refit in 3 months. What do they have left overall? They got 31 ships. Mostly smaller things. Light cruisers, destroyers, torpedo boats, even some subs. If I can hunt down and eliminate a battleship, that would be a big win. Over here we got pretty decent fuel on you. You're looking pretty decent as well. Let's just join you up. Over here we have another 2. Come on then. These guys, medium fuel, no damage, so you're fine. Let's proceed and go hunting. As for what I have available, I got the Piotr, 1913 refit, the Palada, the Greven. Yeah, let's just send everything. Do I have anything else? Because I should have a BC here. Yeah, there she is, the Perm. This is one of those new BCs. You are definitely coming on this wild ride to take down some more ships. As for another destroyer and a submarine, yeah, maybe. There's a 265-ton sub. That's this one as well. Okay, so I don't really need to field those too much. As for finances, now that I'm sitting on 1.8 billion, because the bastards didn't give me what I was asking for, I mean, was it really so unreasonable? I'm gonna have to just pump a whole lot of money into my tech, because I'm still very behind. I am already pumping more money into tech, but here we go. We're gonna go to full 100%. We're gonna try and catch up, if only a little, because there is a lot of sweet research waiting for me. Now, the research is not something that I really want to pursue with this Admiral. His doctrine is much, much more on smaller engagements, hit-and-run tactics, things along that nature. But, yeah, at some point I'm going to have to do some teching up, or I risk falling behind so far that my ships are going to get eliminated before they even get a chance to fight. Now, when it comes to the area of Japan, let's just check if I have any more enemies around, because the Chinese are my my ally. The Germans are not a problem. The French maybe, but not immediately. So I suppose I can just look at the area over there, which is the Sea of Japan, and put the ships over here at least. At the very, look at that, there's 4 ships there. That's all I got left. I can put these guys all into defend, which is going to reduce their maintenance cost under 5.2 million. And then we're going to just mothball these ships and save some more cash. There we go. I still have the Kazanets and the Dirtsky. Beyond that, I mean, look at that. Most of the Soviet Navy is now mothballed to save some cash, which is much needed. But hey, you gotta do what you have to do to make things meet. And hopefully, once Austria-Hungary is in the green, i.e. When I kick Austria-Hungary's ass, I'm going to be able to mothball the rest and have, at least temporarily, a positive cash flow. There have not been any new orders for ships, but I am expecting to sell the Yekaterinburg and the Smolensk pretty soon, and then in another year or so the Borodino, which is going to Mexico. So these 2 ships are going to be sold pretty quick. That's a lot of money. And this one is going to be done pretty soon, which again saves me about 26 million a month. So yeah, if I don't put all these sliders to 100%, it should be pretty feasible to have a peacetime economy and make some money. But we'll have to see. Now, as I move my fleet into the Adriatic, I immediately cause the Austro-Hungarian Empire to suffer. Stagnation, that is, because they have a tonnage that is not that serious. I don't believe my tonnage is that much greater. I mean, 80k for 64k is not that big of a deal, but, well, we are projecting a heck of a lot more power. Great, the US likes this. They do keep sinking transports over here, which is getting a bit annoying, but right now I don't really have any assets available. Something I have been completely overlooking. Look at all this new tech showing up. Good lord. That was like 1 month. Oh, South Korea is liberating itself again, by the way. Very successfully, I might say. One thing I've completely missed is this. Guess who's back? It's these fuckers. A lot of them as well. And my army likely is not going to hold. So the only thing I'm hoping to do right about now is make the life of the Austro-Hungarian Navy as difficult and as painful as possible, causing them to lose a lot of ships, and ideally quickly, so that I can sue for peace immediately. I don't really have a lot of alternatives. I can't naval invade them. I simply don't have the tonnage for that. It's going to be very painful if I lose this again. especially as during this war, I have nothing to show for it. So let's see. I have blockaded their area. Do they have anything to say about that? The war against Austria-Hungary is not going well. The perpetrator? Submarines. The submarine managed to sneak up on Riga, which was just, well, trying to find its way to the rest of the fleet over there in the Adriatic. And the Riga sunk. 12,000 victory points for the Austro-Hungarians. Just like that. Good lord, this pisses me off to no extent. I mean, yeah, probably should have sent a DD with it, but this thing would have been able to hear the submarine. But since depth charges haven't been invented, I cannot do anything about the bloody submarine. I'm gonna have to focus my research very, very heavily into ASW, anti-submarine warfare. Because at this rate, I will lose the war. I might have the Austro-Hungarian navy blocked and the economy just stagnated. Not that the AI cares. But if the submarines blow up my capital ships, especially one that I've spent 7 months refitting, then yeah, they will win the war. Simply because I lose my large surface ships. So I'm gonna get a little payback over here. But it's just a CA. Like, it's not going to really give me thousands and thousands of points. Maybe 6k? 6 to 7? If I get lucky. But really, it'll not be more than that. Also, my submarines over here, sorry, my destroyers over here, they do have some ASW capability, but it's really, really limited. So, off-screen, or off-recording, I have already made a refit to, to this design. So it now also includes ASW capabilities. But considering how much of a threat they are, I think refitting a couple of submarines just to have some hydrophones is not quite going to cut it. We're going to have to do a little more. We're going to have to make sure that these guys get some far better protection against submarines, because I want to get those submarines destroyed. They are, well, much like what I've been using. A weapon system that is extraordinarily cost effective. You can just pump these things out by, well, I think by the hundreds before you ever have to worry about the abilities of the enemy to sink them. Because you just crank out another submarine. And yet, if one of those things that costs you, I don't know, 100k, maybe 200k, if that manages to make it through and sinks a battleship, then yeah, good luck to you. Increase speed. Damn it. Flash fire. Please contain that. What turret did I lose? The stern one. I am not losing 2 capital ships in a single episode, understand? You're not doing that. This is why I'm desperately trying to catch up with my tech. I need my ships to do better. And not just in the sense that I'm struggling to pen a heavy cruiser. No, I need to be able to take the fight to the destroyers. I need to be able to take the fight and immediately wipe out a heavy cruiser, because this is, like, it's a CA. It's it's not some armored battleship. Their armor quality 105%. But their fore belt is like half an inch. And that's after that correction. It is really not that spectacular of a ship. Yet, my ships are A, struggling to even do damage to it. Sorry, struggling to even hit it. And B, struggling to do damage. So, yeah. We need tech upgrades. As much as Admiral Kuznetsov is a simple fisherman who likes to keep things easy. Or at least he started out as a simple fisherman. We're gonna have to use something to deal with the bigger fish. At least for now. Could you not? Thank you. Dude. DDs are still trying to screen. The DDs, by the way, I think I might just end up scrapping this whole class, because they really are pretty awful. Early game, These ships just bounce and roll way too much to be useful. Maybe if you put them at their cruising speed of 16 knots, you get some sort of accuracy bonus, like 10%. And now they actually become somewhat decent, like 20% chance to hit. But a DD isn't really supposed to do 16 knots. At least not in my book. I would much rather have those things speed along. I think that I sunk the heavy cruiser and the damage to the battleship's kind of going to equate to the same thing. Like, we're going to have a pretty negative outcome here. Kill it. Faster is better. Thank you. Okay. So the Striker D10 has gone down. That's a lot of damage to my ship. Yeah, exactly as predicted. 6,000 victory points. It's almost like I have played the game before. Oh yeah, and something else that happened. That new battlecruiser, the Perm, that was also with this task force. A destroyer snuck into the screen that the destroyers didn't put up, torpedoed the battlecruiser, and it is now getting repaired by the Greek. It's going to be out of commission for 4 months. Lovely. So what can I do in this particular situation? Because it's kind of a repeat of what happened against the Japanese. Damn it. There goes my naval budget. Come again? Now you're going to hit Eastern Poland? No, you're not going to get any used ships. That's really ambitious or extremely stupid. 180,000 guys against 1.2 million? Good luck with that. Well, actually don't have good luck with that. There we go. Sunk another submarine of theirs. How many subs did they even have? 3. Just 3? That's what I'm facing? Fantastic. Okay, so I have Hydro Fund 1. We're going to prio this. I believe that that's pretty much the only thing that you can prio that's going to actually give you any kind of defense against submarines. There's no other research. Like, when you're facing, I don't know, a battleship that you can't fight with your own battleship, you go small. You go destroyers, you build better torpedoes, you send out more torpedoes by using more torpedo launchers. You maybe make the torpedoes more difficult to detect. All of these things are options that you then have. With a submarine, it's just ASW and a dice roll. There is nothing that really involves skill beyond positioning of your ships. And now I'm going to have to give up my blockade simply because my battleship has taken a massive amount of damage. That wasn't submarine inflicted, to be fair, but it still pisses me off. A few months later, an excellent opportunity arises. This could put me back in, well, not the good graces when it comes to victory points, but at least, well, let's say even the odds. Petrov, modernized Petrov, with her 8 13-inch guns, is going to go up against the Francis. Francis only has 6 11-inchers. She also has more flaws than the screen is able to show me. The ship's overweight, she has boiler defects, there's ship engine repair issues, they got a ton of weapon defects. This is basically a disaster waiting to sink, which is something I will gladly help it do. So for the first time, the new and much improved Petrov takes to the seas and readies her guns. Now, these guns are definitely crewed by veterans. They are, however, at this level of speed, not going to be that accurate. I've been experimenting with the speed slider a bit more. Normally, I just put the speed at full speed, which gives you a bit of cruise speed bonus. But what I've been lately been looking at is max cruise speed, 12.7 knots. So if I slide this down to about, let's say, 12.6, my speed is going to take a while to drop, but once it gets there, you get an own cruise speed bonus of about 27%, depending on, of course, other factors. This is definitely going to impact your accuracy a lot. It also, however, works the other way. This floating disaster does now get a target slow speed buff, but their buff is only 10% in this case. My buff is 27%. So I would very much like to have this bonus. And I would very much appreciate, of course, not getting hit. But I think that right now, it's a pretty decent trade-off. If I can get a lot more accuracy for, let's say, a little bit more chance to take a hit, that seems like a pretty decent deal to me. So let's see if the Petrov is able to fire all of her guns. She should be able to. We are fighting at a range of about 18 kilometers. So I can pen an inch of deck armor with HE. Or a decent amount, almost 6 inches with AP. I'm not sure if it's feasible. Also, are you running? Really? Well, there goes the whole argument about speed and maneuverability and accuracy and shit. Because now I'm going to have to try and catch up to this thing. Thankfully, it seems to have so many issues that it's likely going to either tear itself apart or not be very quick. Whichever happens first. But, well, I'm still going to have to get a little closer if I want to land some decent hits. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Damage and stability is racking up nicely. 30% damage and stability for them. That's what I want to see on their part. I think they're maneuvering again. There, accuracy about 11 to 12. Excellent. Let's blow a couple of big holes in this thing. Make them forget all about the defects that this ship was originally fielded with. She's pretty thick for a ship like this, right? She's pretty wide. If you look at the length times width, the proportions seem to be vastly different than mine. My ships tend to be a lot longer than they are wide. That's not counting the weird Russian almost round ship that I did at one point in the video. But that was way back when you could still tinker with the ship files, I think it was. You'd open up a notepad and basically adjust the width to 500% or something stupid like that. Unfortunately, that has been properly locked down. Apparently, that did mess with their design philosophy, whatever. The devs didn't like it, period. And they said, nope, this is going to impact the shared designs, so we're going to lock all of these things down. Unfortunate, because having those extremely wide ships would have been very funny as a bunch of campaign ships. Oh well. Now, how fast is the Francis over here? You're doing 19 knots, so I should be catching up to you fairly quickly. Which means I can slow down and get more accuracy. Because it's not going to get that full cruise speed accuracy, but it should help a little bit. Engine vibrations of the ship should be a little less as we're moving slightly less quickly, but good lord, this is going to take me a while, isn't it? After a few minutes of closing the distance, I have gotten to 10 clicks. And interestingly, I am actually taking more hits than I'm dealing. The accuracy on these 1.6s, the 11.2s is pretty atrocious when you consider the side mount. But it seems like the center mount is accurate to 15%. That's something my Petrov can only dream of. Well, sorry, I'm getting to 15% now. I was just looking at a bit of recoil. So let's go broadside, let's slow down, and let's give them the good news. 8 clicks out. Sure, we're going to be hitting belt. Oh, there we go. That was main deck, secondary tower, another main deck. Huh. Which main deck armor you got? 2.3. Range, less than 10. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Range less than 10. I might be able to do a whole lot of nasty things to them with HE. Ready the guns. 74% chance to hit. Bring it. And nothing. 27. Because now I'm suddenly hitting the main belt. Main belt is not really something I'll be able to pen with HE. We're going to need to bring something slightly more pointy and more, well, yeah. We're going back to AP. I was hoping to do some damage against their deck armor, which at this point I should be able to pen. But I guess it's not to be. So now let's give 8 AP shells the chance to wreck this ship and destroy the funnel. Not bad. What's your speed now? 17 knots. Funnels don't slow your ship down most of the time. They do mess with your ability to speed up and slow down. Mostly speed up. Because funnels indicate or dictate how much your engine efficiency is going to be. And if your engine doesn't have a funnel anymore, your engine efficiency, as far as I understand it, is pretty trash. Which means that your ability to speed up after you've been slowed down, either by having an engine temporarily knocked out or by slowing down like I'm doing, you're going to have a very difficult time speeding back up. Come on, that looks pretty good. Oh, and it ricochets. Come on. Managed to escape to 10 clicks. They're now down to 16 knots. Damage to a main gun. The main gun's armored? Yeah, they're very well armored. Roof, 3.8. Ooh, ammo detonation though. And flooding. They're really only shooting... No, they're shooting potentially 4 guns at me here. No, never mind. Bow turret can't fire. It's stern. And then those 2 side mounts. Yeah, we're gonna have this thing. Also, it's probably gonna be fairly cheap. 167 million. Petrov is something vastly different. 237 million. Now that is a very, very, very different type of price tag. Come on. Francis is flooding. It is a battleship. It is a capital warship. It is 24,509 tons. Victory points. Place your bets. I'm gonna go with 19,000. This is half estimate, half science based, because it is a battleship, which makes them more expensive. It is, however, not a crazy expensive battleship, like not 200 million, which for this era I find fairly expensive. But for other eras, it might not be. So I guess it's going to be around 19,000 victory points. Because, well, actually, no. Losing a submarine, losing a capital ship, like a battleship, to a submarine was 12. Huh. Might not be nearly that much, then. I thought I had them flooding, but then France's damage control parties kicked in. And pushed all the water back out. Ship has taken a beating and a half. Listing badly. Guns unable to fire. 25% of the crew is dead, which is testament to how much crew they have. And how well they keep that crew safe. Their damage control hasn't even been affected yet. That is impressive. Is my accuracy dropping or something? Like, come on, this is a bit of a disgrace, Petrov. All you had to do was finish them off. It's not much more than that. But it seems to be a struggle. Come on! So, that took me far longer than I really wanted it to take, but okay. The ship has been sunk, the Francis, and I believe that this was their only battleship. The Austro-Hungarian Navy really isn't that sizable anymore. They do have a battle cruiser, they have 2 heavies, and their GDP is growing by 3 billion per month. I don't know how they do this, but, well, magic. They do, however, have 23 ships that they're repairing. They're building another 26. So, yeah. They have a sizable number of ships. This is interesting. If I can sink another battle cruiser, that'd be great. Tonnage-wise, we're pretty even. They're 88,000, I'm 108,000, so we're fairly close. As for potential future conflicts, I don't have any brewing right now, although France doesn't like me too much. Now, as for research, I have just completed the research on the 1,400-ton destroyer, so we can now have some fairly big DDs. I am looking forward to seeing what the next ASW thing is, although, at this point, I've mostly eliminated the threat. There's only 1 submarine left. Nevertheless, we're going to focus a bit more on our ability to design ships which have potentially more torps, but also better, smaller guns. And, of course, I would like to get better rangefinders. So let's focus on... Well, yeah, let's focus on that as well. I'm going to be building a couple of better destroyers, because the DDs that we have now are both lacking in anti-submarine warfare, and on top of that, they are just generally unstable as a firing platform. They bob and weave and bounce all over the place. And this causes them to get very, very poor results as a surface combatant. Unless you slow them down. Which is something I would rather not do. Also, with submarines, you can zip around the place. And I don't mean just the battlefield in the tactical sphere. I also mean the battlefield in the area of the strategic map. Where, if for example you want to quickly project power over here, you can send a couple of DDs. If you have an enemy navy that isn't that sizable, that could be a way to interdict more of their transports. So the 4 transports down. Oh, the Pallada's out there again. What are we getting? What are we getting? What are we getting? Depth charges type 2. Excellent. More ASW. It's going to take me 2 months. Unless I take the focus... No, even if I take the focus off of rangefinders, that doesn't help. Where's the third prio? So we've got 1, 2... Oh, they're small guns. Yep. We're also getting new cruisers. Eventually, the Advanced Battlecruiser. This is the Battlecruiser 2 hull. My Battlecruisers, as they are, have barely seen any action, so I'm not really expecting to have to use them that much.
Now, that's going to be it for this episode. I am planning on going to peace off-screen. This is because then I can skip a couple of years, and we're going to advance from 1918 to, I don't know, 1925 or something. This is to get the economy back a little bit more, which is something I'll need if I want to ever get more expensive ships or a bigger navy. That's something that sits, I don't know, slightly higher than 15% armor logistics. So, next time you'll see me, I'll probably be a little bit more advanced, and I'll catch you up on what happened. Thank you for watching this one, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more.